Hey, boys and girls, before we get into our weekly story for this week, we do have some important words that I wanted to go over with you. And these are words that are going to come up when you're reading, and I want you to be able to understand what it is that you're reading. So in order to do that, we need to know what these words are. So we're going to take a few minutes and go over our high frequency words, our amazing words, and some of our vocabulary words that we're going to see in our story. First, we're going to look at our high frequency words. Okay. For our high frequency words, the first word we have is the word built. Built. And the word built is when you make something by joining together different materials. That means that you built it. I built a machine. I built a simple machine last week. Right? So that means you put something together using things. Okay, the next one is science. And that's one we've definitely heard before, right? And science is kind of a search for how things work, right? When we're talking science, we're talking about how things work, why they're the way that they are, how do plants work, how do animals work, how do simple machines work, right? So we're looking through, and it's the science of something is how it works. Okay? Next, we have the word early. Early is the opposite of late, right? And it's near the beginning. So if it's early in the morning, it's near the beginning of the morning. If it's early in somebody's life, it's near the beginning of their life, right? So you're turning it in early. It's near the beginning. Next, we have the word through. Through. And through means in this way that they're going to be using it in the story means because of. So through a lot of work, he was able to create his invention, right? So because of, when we use the word through in that way, when we're saying through a bunch of learning, we were able to pass first grade, right? So that's because of. And the last high frequency, let me move these up for you, is learn. It's something that we do every day together, right? Learn. And learn, when we learn, we're finding out about stuff, right? To learn about something means to find out about it. So those are our high frequency words for this week. Okay, and let's move on to our amazing words. So our amazing words, we got some big ones here, some good ones. We have the word determined. Determined. Somebody is determined, right? I'm determined to finish this. That means you have your mind made up. So Alexander Graham Bell was determined to invent. That means he didn't give up. He had his mind made up. He was going to do it. He did it. Okay. Next, we have the word technology. Technology is any number of tools that we use to make our lives easier, like our computers and our phones and things like that, right? They make things easier. That's technology. And we have the word sketch. And a sketch is just a quick drawing, right? Just a quick drawing. If you're not going to spend all day making this great art thing, you're just going to do a quick sketch, right? It's nice and quick. Next, we have the word stalled. Stalled. And stalled means to stop suddenly. So sometimes a car will stall. You go to turn it on and all of a sudden, it just died. Right? So it's stalled means to stop suddenly. All of a sudden it just stopped. Okay? Next, we have the word inventor. I'm going to move these over. Let's see, can you still see them all? I'll move it up a little. Next, we have the word inventor. And an inventor is Alexander Graham Bell. He's a good example of one, right? It's a person who makes something for the first time. It's an inventor. Okay. Next, we have the word stable. Also, one of the words that can be, depending on how you use it, can be different, have different meanings. Could be where, where you keep your horses, or in this story, they're going to use the word stable, and what they're going to mean is that it's something that is not likely to fall apart. So I built this castle out of blocks, and I make sure that it was very stable. It wasn't just going to tip over. It was very strong, and it was not likely to just collapse. Next we have biplane. Biplane. Okay. So a biplane is a plane that has two sets of wings. So these two letters, bi, at the beginning of a word, are a prefix, and it means two. Think of bicycle, right? Two wheels on a bicycle. A tricycle, on the other hand, would have three wheels, but a bicycle has two. So this is a plane that has two sets of wings. And last, we have the word speech. Speech. And a speech is a talk given in front of a group of people. So you can give a speech, right? Or speech. We speak, right? So a speech. Talking in front of people. So, amazing words, right? I'm trying to go through it quick. I know we have a short week this week. So, normally we would spread all this stuff out over a couple days, but we're going to get it all done today and make things easier for later in the week. Okay. And last, we have our story words. These vocabulary words are going to be in the story. And when we get to them, we want to know what they mean. So first, we have Canada. Alexander Graham Bell, he moves to Canada. Canada is a country that is north of the United States. It's right above the United States. It's a country. It's in North America, but it's not in the United States. And it's called Canada. Okay. Next, telephone. That's one you guys will know when you see it, right? Telephone is something that's used to talk to people that are far away. You pick up your phone and you call them. Okay. Heard. Heard. Right? If you take away the D, we have the word hear. Take away the H, we got the word ear, right? Because you hear with your ears. And heard means that you listened to it. I heard you. I listened. I heard the music. I listened to it, right? Next, we have this funny word. This is a different word that you don't see every day. And it is dehusker. Dehusker. Okay. A dehusker is a tool that Alexander Graham Bell invented, and it takes the husks or outer coverings off of wheat stalks. If you've ever gotten corn on the cob and they come in this thing and they're all wrapped in green, or if you've seen them, and you have to peel off, and then underneath the green peel, it's like hairy, right? You're husking the corn. You're peeling off those outer layers to get to the good corn on the cob that's inside. So a dehusker is a tool that takes off the outer coverings of wheat stalks, which is another kind of plant, right? Big, tall plant, just like corn stalks. So he invented this dehusker. It had a brush, and you could just brush it off, and it made life a lot easier. Okay, piano, I think we know what those are. Those are the large musical instrument that you play with your fingers. Alexander Graham Bell and his mother played the piano together in the story we're going to read. And last, Alexander Graham Bell. I keep mentioning this guy, but I haven't told you who he was. He's who we're going to be reading about this week in our biography. He is the person who invented the first telephone. So his great invention really, really changed the way that our lives work. Before we had a telephone, you couldn't just call up somebody and talk to them. You had to send a message, which could take a while because then somebody had to go deliver it. So he's known as one of the greatest inventors ever because this invention, the telephone, really changed the way that we live our lives today. So very, very important guy, Alexander Graham Bell. And in the next video, we're actually going to read about him. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon.